In about 15 minutes time, Summer in the City 2017 kicks off in this building behind me. As a first time attendee, I'd like to invite you to come with me on a journey of discovery while we figure out what this event is all about. Observation number one, for anyone who's ever been here for Comic-Con, when that field is just full of cosplayers and it's fenced off, it's not as busy as that. I mean, seriously, I know it's the Creator Day, but it is absolutely deserted in here. I've not seen any signs for the event. I am starting to question just a little bit whether it's even happening today. I found the people may have come in the wrong end of the whole thing. Just need to find where I get my wristband from now. Everyone else who's just come in is headed that way, but there's a massive McFlurry here, which only I seem to be interested in. Here you go, here's a Kev fact for you. I never ever feel self-conscious talking to the camera when I'm out in public when nobody else is talking into a camera, but trying to walk through somewhere like this, dodging all the other cameras that people are holding up in front of them, yeah, it's a bit weird. Right, before it gets really busy in here, and before the panels and stuff get started, time for a little bit of a show floor tour. There's a lot of logos for a lot of different social networks that people are having their pictures taken in front of in here. I realise I'm now doing the exact same thing, but that's a bit weird. We have YouTube, we have Instagram over there, there was another one somewhere. It's still very, very quiet. Kind of just waiting for things to get up and running now. But so that's the Instagram one. I don't know what's around the side of this. Looks like makeup and stuff. Probably not the area for Kev. More Instagram. Interesting. Football might be the best thing anyone's ever invented. That's just awesome. I think this is what's known in the trade as the thumbnail queue, as we have the Summer in the City logo behind us and a queue of people ready to have their picture taken in front of it. Right, show floor tour complete. But don't worry, this isn't a typical Kev goes to a convention thing where I'm now going to run off around London. What I'm going to do, grab some lunch, come back in. It's 11:30 now, starting from 12 o'clock. It's pretty much panel of stuff that I'm here to see and learn about. I'm obviously not going to be able to film them. I might be able to give you some of the highlights of them though. But it's pretty much going to be a day of sitting and learning. I have a notebook and a pen with me, and this is what I came for. But now, I've got about 20 minutes until I need to be ready for the first one to start, to choose where I want to eat lunch. And there's no queues anywhere. It's brilliant. For those of you wondering what Summer in the City is, as you can probably see from this sign here, it's, what do they call it? I can't read it backwards. The UK's largest online video thing. They don't use the word thing, they say festival. It means the same thing. Well, I'm about halfway through the day of panels and things that I've got planned. So I've had 2 panels, both on monetization, working with brands. The first one I felt was a lot more interesting, more helpful than the other one. The first one was by a multi-channel network, which I don't know how I feel about that, but they obviously knew what they were talking about. The other one was more a group of YouTubers who I got the impression they weren't entirely comfortable talking about the topic, and it kind of came across. So it's some interesting information. For example, something I didn't know about, if you do a piece of advertised content, it has to have hashtag ad in the title. They kept going on about that in the second one. I've never heard of that. I might just be really naive because I've never done anything like that, but I've got my first branded content coming up on the main channel next week, so I need to do some quick Googling when I get home just to make sure what the actual situation is around that, because I could have been a very naughty boy if I hadn't come here. So for no other reason, it might have saved me getting a slap on the wrist. The one I've just been in on was about the fundamentals of making YouTube videos. So the first sort of 45 minutes was almost like a story of the last year and a half of my life, talking through what kit you need, what software you need, it was quite scary to see that every camera they recommended at every level of the whole thing. They're all the ones I've bought. It's the journey I took. It go from iPhone to the G7X to the Canon 80D, and it's the exact journey I've been on. We talked about editing software as well. It got interesting towards the end when we started to talk a little bit more about the techniques used when actually editing, and this is something I've already identified as a course I need to do at some point, or something I need to learn more about. I'm pretty much sorted with the basic cuts of assembling a video together, but I've never really learned how to use Premiere Pro properly. I'd certainly never heard of J cuts and L cuts, although it was basically a formal description of something I invented myself and kind of try and do in my videos anyway. And one thing I have discovered I need to learn about is colour grading and colour correction. It's going to be difficult because I'm colourblind, but I'm hoping there's some kind of preset I can set up either on the camera or in Premiere Pro, because what they were saying did make sense, and I can see it in some of my videos where, although I don't necessarily know why the colour is off, it doesn't look quite right and consistent all the way through, so that's something I definitely need to work on. I'm on an hour's break now, effectively. The panels that are on right now, none of them really appeal to me, so my options for the 3 o'clock slot were music industry, doesn't apply, upscaling talent from YouTube to TV, I think we're a long way away from that one, and working for YouTube channels, which I don't really ever have any intention of working for another channel. I've got 2 of my own to manage, so I'm taking this as a little break. I've come out here to talk to you lot. I'm going to go head back in, have another walk around the show floor. I just passed through it. It's really deserted, so I don't know if there's going to be anything more interesting going on in there, but no doubt future Kev will stick in another little montage just to fill the video up, because he's that kind of guy. And then before I leave, I've got 2 more panels I want to check out. Where next for MCNs, because my gaming channel is part of an MCN, but I'm not sure if I'm happy being in that situation. This channel is not, and I really want to try and work out where I want them both to be in the same place, whether that's both under the Kev umbrella or both with a multi-channel network. And then the 5 o'clock panel, YouTube's unmissable update, and that's all the information they've given, just to ensure that we stay here right until the death at 6 o'clock, so I'll definitely be getting involved in that one. I need to go and head back in. It took me nearly 15 minutes to walk out to this spot, because we're right at the other end of the XL, and my shoe's broken. I don't know if you can see, but we're in a flappy shoe situation, so that's a bit of a problem as well. It's so weird being here for something other than Comic-Con, and this whole area that I'm used to just being absolutely covered in people, cosplaying awesome people, is just completely deserted, to the point where some fella's just parked his car down there. This is mad. It's like being in a ghost town. So, time for another wander around in here, see if there's anything that I missed this morning. There's not a massive amount in here. I think the whole event is more about coming to do the meet and greets, which happen on Saturday and Sunday. Because they're not going on today, there's a big chunk of the event missing. Luckily, what is still here is the fairground rides. So perhaps I'll head over there and keep myself amused for 20 minutes. Presumably for the next couple of days, most people will be hanging out, queuing here, waiting to meet their hero. But I'm not going to be here, because I'm only here for the one day. There's no queue for the thumbnails now. Hold on. Let's position myself for a thumbnail. There you go, see? That's how you get a thumbnail without queuing.
I think there's a lot of shameless back there.
That's a collection of YouTubers back there. I'm done. I'm on my way back to the train. We'll chat when I get outside. I don't know, I come out here to try and avoid all the insider convention noise, and then it's gale force wind out here and you probably can't hear me anyway. But that was a couple of, well, no, I was going to say a couple of good talks. Not so much. Mixed talks. The first one, the future of multi-channel networks. I guess it was helpful in a way, because I'm now really questioning what value I actually get from my MCN. I've paid them hundreds of dollars over the last year or so, and I'm not actually getting anything in return. None of the stuff they were talking about as things that I should be getting from an MCN, I'm not getting any of that. They're really just taking 10%. in exchange for me having access to royalty-free music that I don't use because I get it all off SoundCloud. So I think an email or a phone call on Monday morning to my network asking for a reason to stay with them or asking for my release is going to be in order. The second of the two talks though was really interesting. It was by YouTube themselves. It was the same people that I met when I went to the Creator Connect event over at the YouTube space near King's Cross a couple of months back, but new information, so that's good. It was only about half an hour long, but quite a lot of interesting little snippets of where they see YouTube going. They really, even more so than the last time I was there, are really pushing live. So I think we're going to look at a way to incorporate some kind of live content within the vlog. We already do the live streaming for the gaming stuff. I'm trying to shout from the wind a little bit more around here. I know you don't get the O2 in the background. I'm just now down an alley, but it's less windy here. So I'm going to try and incorporate some more live stuff into the vlog channel to complement what we're already doing on Twitch with the gaming content. Maybe a couple of people have suggested we do a live Q&A every now and again. I think that's probably not a bad idea because they really are pushing live at YouTube, and it's just going to be an extra way to get noticed by them. They also gave me a URL that I'm going to share with you lot. It wasn't specific to me, it was given out to the talk as a whole, to join the queue to get a like a channel consultation. Normally you only get them at 100,000 subscribers, but apparently there's a link where you can sign up to join the queue once you've got 10,000 subscribers. So if you've got 10,000 subscribers, go to bit.ly/YT manager, I think it was. I'll dig the link out and put it properly down in the description, but I've already registered. It'd be nice to get that. It'd be nice to have that point of contact over at YouTube, and if it helps any of the rest of you out, then that's awesome too. They didn't say we weren't allowed to share it. And then the last thing was, what was the last thing? The last thing was something that I shared on Instagram at the time. It was something I didn't know about at all, and it's a closed beta now. They were running it with select creators earlier in the year, which I didn't even notice, but a more integrated merchandise deal within YouTube that it wasn't really clear what it is, but the general gist is, as a creator, we'll get the option to have less of the AdSense ads that obviously aren't making many people very much money anymore, and replace that with proper little thumbnail ads with some proper screen real estate for our own merchandise. So rather than it being an advert for Pepsi Max that pops up at the start of a Football Manager episode, it might be a short thing that pops up to send people towards where you can get a Kevolution t-shirt, which I think that's quite cool. It's certainly something that I'm looking forward to them rolling out to everybody else. The fact that they're announcing it at Summer in the City suggests it's coming, it's just not available yet, but that sounds like that'd be quite cool as well. But all that aside, it is now 6 o'clock. My train back to Peterborough is not until 8 o'clock, so I've got a couple of hours to kill down in London, almost as if it was deliberately planned that way so that I could hit Forbidden Planet before they close at 7:30. So we're going to head over there now. I'm going to leave the vlog here because I'm going to assume you don't need to see me wandering around a comic book store again. If you really want to see that, I'll do it when I'm down here next in a couple of weeks' time. But that aside, if you've enjoyed the vlog today, please make sure you pop a thumbs up on there for me. If you are new to the channel because you were searching around for Summer in the City content, or if you were just wondering what Summer in the City is going to be about because you're there this weekend, pop a subscribe down on the channel. We go to all these events, there's lots of stuff like this for you, and I promise you over the weekend it will be busier there. It's just because I didn't have any of the meet and greet stuff today. And thank you very much for watching.